Hey there, it's Rosie, and I'm making a cranberry apple bread stuffing or dressing, whatever you call it. What do you call it? Leave it down below. Anyway, this bread stuffing is going to go great with my roast holiday chicken that I previously uploaded. If you missed out on that chicken recipe, no worries, I'll leave a link at the end of this video. So here's the bread that I will be using. I'm using wheat bread. If you want to use white bread, of course you can do so. So we're just going to cut that bread up. I'm going to use the edges and all, and I just cut them up in little small cubes. I also had some biscuits on hand, and if you don't have biscuits, you don't have to use it, but I just want to put use to my biscuits. So I'm going to spray this dish with some non-sticking spray, and now I'm going to place all of those bread pieces into that dish. After everything is in the dish, I'm going to walk my little self over to my stovetop, or my oven I should say, and I'm going to toast this bread. So we're going to toast the bread on 350 Fahrenheit for 15 to 20 minutes. And while it's toasting, be sure to stir everything around because you don't want the bottom to burn or the top to be burned. You want everything to be perfect. So this is what it's going to look like when it comes out. It's nice and toasted. It might look a little burnt now I think about it, but that's okay. So here's our apple juice. I'm using a frozen generic concentrate. I'm going to let this thaw out. And while it's thawing, I'm going to walk over to my stovetop and I'm going to fry these bacon pieces that I cut up. And I want to fry it until it's nice and crisp. So once the bacon is nice and crisp, I'm going to remove it from that pan, but I am going to reserve that bacon dripping, so don't get rid of it. So now it is time to start placing everything into this dish or putting everything together. So we're going to pour some chicken broth all over our bread, and now we're going to start pouring some apple juice all over the bread, and that's just a concentrate mixed with a little bit of water. I'm going to give everything a nice stir until it's well combined, and now I'm adding some cranberry sauce, and the cranberry sauce I'm using is a whole berry cranberry sauce. I diced up 2 small Granny Smith apples. I left the skin on. If you're not a fan of the skin, you can peel the apples before dicing it up. Let's add those apple pieces along with our other ingredients, and now we're going to add in the bacon. Remember I told you to save the bacon drippings, so now we're going to start just drizzling in about 2 to 3 tablespoons of the bacon drippings. Give everything a stir. Now we're going to start adding our seasonings, and I just have a little bit of sage, salt, and pepper. I'm going to add 2 beaten eggs to the mix, and now we can just stir everything until it is well combined. So now we're going to place all of this mixture into a well-greased or oiled bake dish. We're going to make sure we flatten everything out, and don't forget, if you want the complete measurements and directions, it can be found on my blog, iHeartRecipes.com. So now I'm going to bake this in the oven on 350 Fahrenheit for about 30 minutes, and I did leave it uncovered. When it comes out, this is what it's going to look like. We are not quite finished yet. You want to stir it up, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually place it into another bake dish. I did spray with non-sticking spray, and I'm going to build a little inner part there just so I can place my chicken in the middle. So for the last couple of minutes of baking, I want to bake the chicken and the stuffing together. So if you're liking this video so far, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. Let's set that chicken in the middle of that dressing there, or stuffing, whatever you call it, and we're going to let it bake in the oven for an additional 15 to 25 minutes. And when it comes out, this is our finished look. Just perfect for Thanksgiving, Christmas, maybe even Easter, depends on what kind of stuff you like to serve during the holidays. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you give this delicious, moist dressing or stuffing recipe a try. And coming up next, I'm going to share my recipe for homemade sweet potato rolls. Stay tuned.